Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Naz. I'm 26 years old and I'm currently studying to be a naturopath here in Australia. At the moment I'm studying at Endeavour College, but I've actually just transferred to Torrens. So I'm finishing off my subjects at Endeavour and starting with Torrens next year. And I wanted to create a video chatting all about my reasoning behind that, because I did have a lot of people ask me a variety of different questions about the process and also my reasons for switching unis. So this is the video that you've all been waiting for, all about my reasonings and stuff. I do just want a disclaimer and say that I have had an incredible experience at Endeavour so far. I love their flexibility with enrollments, and I also love the fact that most of it is all online. Just to give you guys a quick little summary of my current situation. So at the moment I am studying with Endeavour College. I started studying last year. I'm studying part-time. So I have completed one full semester, so all of first semester. I've also nearly completed 2 subjects from second semester. So earlier this year I found out that Endeavour charge an additional fee if you put your tuition costs onto Fee Help, which is about 20% of each unit. So basically, as an example, for one of my subjects it was an extra $500. I actually think most of my subjects was an extra $500. But basically Torrens University don't charge this fee. So the degree that I thought was going to cost me around 70 grand was actually going to cost me over 80 grand to complete. I'm not 100% sure on those numbers, but that was roughly the maths that I did. I didn't get a scholarship or anything like that to Endeavour. I know that at the time that I enrolled they had a scholarship, but I had to do the entire course full time, and that was never going to be possible for me, not with the lifestyle that I lead. It was just never an option for me to do full-time study for 4 years. So I enrolled at Endeavour. I've gotten this far, and then I found out about this Fee Help thing, this additional 20% fee, and I also found out that Torrens don't charge that, and that was my first reason that I decided to switch unis. Then when I actually inquired with Torrens and asked questions and got in contact with Anthony, I actually found out that I was eligible for a scholarship, which I applied for and received. So I then got 20% off the entire course. So it brought my course fees down to about $66,000, I think, for the entire course. And I will also get credit for quite a few of the subjects that I've done at Endeavour. So it would be even less than that all up with Torrens. Wild. Like, that was the point where I knew I was absolutely going to change unis. So that basically happened, and yeah, so I started enrolling with them. The subject coordinator essentially told me that my biological science 1 from semester 1 would not be recognized unless I did a biological science 2. And that was essentially why I continued studying with Endeavour for the second semester. So at the moment I'm doing biological science 2 and also herbal botany and manufacturing with Endeavour. I finished those in mid-January, and then I start at Torrens towards the end of February. So yeah, my reasoning for sticking with Endeavour for those 2 subjects was just so I can get prior recognition for my biological science, and also the herbal botany and manufacturing. I knew that there was a couple of days I'd need to do on campus with Torrens, and Endeavour is completely online. So that was kind of why I did that subject as well. But yeah, if you are considering switching to Torrens, just make sure that you do your research and have a chat with them first, just because I know that there's a number of subjects at Endeavour that do not get recognised at Torrens. And also, like, as an example, if you do Herbal Materia Medica 1 and then you switch to Torrens, they won't recognise it. You have to do Herbal Materia Medica 1 and 2 at Endeavour for it to get recognised at Torrens, to my knowledge. I could be incorrect, but this is I'm 99% sure this is what Anthony told me when I was chatting to him. And the same thing goes for the Human Biological Science 1 and 2, which is why I did my second one. But yeah, that was kind of like the rough rundown. Since that, I know Endeavour has made a couple of little changes. I also had a lecturer for actually my Human Biological Science class. I actually had a lecturer leave in the middle of semester, which was really, really weird, and we have a new one. And the more students that I talked to, the more I realized that this had been happening to quite a few classes. I don't really know how I feel about that. That's a little bit of a red flag for me. But otherwise, my experience at Endeavour has been fantastic. It was honestly just Financially for me was the main reason that I was thinking about switching, and then when I got the scholarship it was, yeah, a definite yes. But yeah, I have had a great experience at Endeavour, and I know plenty of other students that are staying there that absolutely love Endeavour and the education that they've been receiving. Anyway, that's kind of my reasoning, that's where I'm at, and now I want to quickly go into all the questions because the questions that I received will probably answer some of the ones that you may have. Let me sit up for this. I'm on a swivelly chair, so I feel like I can just, you know, swivel my way around. So the first question that I got was, do Torrens have a strong focus on natural health despite offering a variety of courses? I would say absolutely yes. Everybody that I've spoken to that has studied with Torrens has said that it's just been the most incredible experience. They've had amazing lecturers, they've had lots of support, and they feel like they come out of it really, really well equipped. So I would say absolutely yes to your question. Okay, let's look at the rest of the questions. Somebody asked, what sort of scholarship did you apply for? So the scholarship that I was told to apply for by Anthony was the Do What You Love scholarship. Essentially, you just had to answer some questions. I answered them, emailed them through, and they were like, congratulations, you got a scholarship, and that was like 20% off. So yeah, it was called the Do What You Love scholarship. And I also got asked if I study full-time or part-time. I study part-time. That was actually another thing with switching to Torrens, was that they do trimesters. So Endeavour do semesters, to my knowledge, and some of their semesters are like 5 or 6 subjects. That's like the full-time workload, which is why it was never going to be feasible for me to do full-time. However, Torrens do a maximum of 3 subjects per trimester. That's their full-time workload. So I actually think that I'll probably be doing full-time study after the first trimester next year. And yeah, I think that they also do an accelerated option. Another one of my friends who is a student at Endeavour was telling me that she'd inquired with Torrens, and they actually do a accelerated option where you can do more subjects in a semester and essentially do more in a year, because normally you just do 8 subjects in a year. I'm not 100% sure on that. Just ring up Torrens if you are considering switching, because when I rang them they were so helpful and just like put my mind at ease. Somebody else asked, do Torrens hold their placements on campus, or do Torrens hold their placements on campus, or do you have to outsource it? I asked my friend who is studying at Torrens this question, and she said you have to outsource it. So she said that she learned so much. But yeah, you do, to my knowledge, have to find your own place to do this placement. I think she said it's either 2nd or 3rd year, and I think you do about 25 hours for one of your subjects. And yeah, you just essentially, if you're studying to be a naturopath, you have to find another naturopath to tag along with for those 25 hours. Okay, there's a few here from this girl. So firstly, she asked, or she said, I'm so worried about my help loan with Endeavour. Are you making extra contributions to it or not stressing it? I'm just letting it do its thing. I'm not stressing about my help loan, and I'm also not making extra contributions to it. I'm just letting it do its own thing. And her last question was, did you have a bad experience with Endeavour? How much have you gotten through with them? So I answered earlier in the video how much I've gotten through, essentially all of semester 1, and I'm also going to complete 2 other subjects from semester 2. I did not have a bad experience with Endeavour. As I said earlier in the video, I really, really liked studying there, and it was purely a financial decision initially, and majority of it has just been because it's going to be a lot cheaper to study at Torrens. And I also know that Torrens offer a really, really great education around it, and I've only heard great things from students that have studied there or are currently studying there. So yeah, I definitely didn't have a bad experience with Endeavour, and I actually think that it's pretty normal for quite a few students to like switch between the 2 unis. Like I've heard of people going from Torrens to Endeavour and from Endeavour to Torrens, so it's not an abnormal thing. But yeah, I had a great experience with Endeavour. I'm pretty sure every single uni will have its tiny little things that annoy you, but my overarching experience was really, really good, and I would recommend them for sure. I realised that I completely forgot to chat about the process with transferring from Endeavour to Torrens, and I just quickly wanted to run through what that looked like. So I got in contact with Anthony from Torrens, and he essentially sent me all the information to enroll with them. That was super cruisy. What I actually had to do was get my original transcripts from Endeavour. I just emailed them about this. They sent them in the mail. I think with Express Post, it ended up costing about $45, I think. And then I needed to get a photocopy of those original transcripts, and then I needed to get a pharmacist, a JP, or take it down to the police station to get them to witness that the photocopies I'd done were copies of the original document. And then once they had done that, I just went to a pharmacist and they put this like stamp on it to say that it was an original copy. And then once they had done that, I just sent photos of that to Anthony at Torrance, and he pretty much just did it from there, and I enrolled, and yeah, I'm enrolled for my first subject next year. So that process was really, really easy. Yeah, you just need to get your original transcripts from Endeavour. That's pretty much where I'm going to end the video anyway. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any other questions, just reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is just lifewithnaz. And I'm super happy to just like send you a message or voice note you or something. I've already done it with quite a few people that have reached out to me asking for advice, or just like people that have had questions about it. So I'm always really, really happy to do that. Or you can also just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you there. Otherwise, yeah, see you in the next video.